Megan Hicks of I Run Far, and I'm here at the finish line of the 2016 Lake Sonoma 50 mile, and with men's third place finisher Mario Mendoza. Congratulations!
Thank you.
How are you feeling? You literally just finished an hour or so ago.
Yeah, I feel better now. The first 5-10 minutes were pretty rough after finishing. My legs were just aching and hurting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you, as you start to branch out to these longer and longer distances and kind of go to that place where, you know, you're not tapping out aerobically, you're not tapping out endurance, but just everything starts to hurt.
Yeah.
Do you like being there, or do you think to yourself, gosh, I wish I was in a 12-mile race today?
Yeah, you know, I've learned to enjoy the different distances, and there's something just mentally challenging about these longer races that I enjoy too.
Okay.
It's just fun to jump around. It just keeps me motivated to do.
Well, let me ask you about your race today.
Yeah.
Like off the front, you basically took it out. You were up 25 seconds or so from the group at the 2.5 mile point where you dropped onto the trail.
Yeah.
Was that intentional?
No, not at all. In fact, like I was just talking about that with the 5th place finisher. I didn't even take it out hard. I think if people just really were kind of warming up or waking up, you know, and so I actually just kept, you know, pretty even pace the whole way.
Okay.
And then they just closed back in, and I was expecting them to. It was definitely not intentional. Just, I guess I woke up a little earlier than they did.
Well,
yeah.
Walk me through your trip around the lake, and the race takes on different character in different parts of the course. There's definitely a lot more climbing when you loop around to the north side.
Totally.
So walk me through how those different parts of the course felt for you today.
Yeah, today I actually did better in more of the rolling sections in the both ends of the 50 miles. So that really steep climbing section in the middle was kind of rough. I got sick last week when I was down in an orphanage in Guatemala, and I didn't know if I was going to race today. I've gotten sick for 2 races, this year, and so just this morning I just woke up and I was like, you know, it's turning and I feel better. My energy level's a little bit better. I was still pretty traumatized from that last time I tried that, but I was like, I think I'm going to try it and just not care what people think, because you know, you start fearing like what people are going to say if you DNF, you know?
Yeah.
And I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to do my thing and try to be tough. And so I think today the climbing was really hard for me. I'm usually a good climber, and just today I was kind of huffing and puffing. My lungs weren't fully there yet, and just my energy level wasn't fully there yet, but made up for it on a lot of the rolling stuff and the downhills. So today that was my strength, which usually is not really my strength, but
well, people grow and they evolve.
Yeah, you just kind of go for it.
When you're forced to use what you usually perceive as your weakness as your strength on the day, that's where you learn and grow the most.
Yeah,
right?
Today was my quads. Just pounded those on the downhills, and that made up for it a little bit.
So the approach to the turnaround point at mile 25, there's some gnarly, you know, it's like up, down, up, and then down, up, down. Yeah. It's pretty gnarly in there. I feel like it's kind of an intimidating place mentally. Yeah. Because you get to this turnaround point and you know you have to repeat. Go back. Yeah, what you just did. Where were you mentally at the turnaround point? Were you ready to like, I'm going to go for it on these downhills? I'm looking forward to the more rolly stuff later in the race. What? I think at that point I was actually running with Matt Flaherty. I was in kind of 4th, 5th. That was the first point in the race where I kind of committed to going for it. And I think just having seen the course now, I was like, okay, I know what is left, and I'm going to just do what I can today and just focus on myself. So from then on, I just ran my pace, got in my rhythm, whatever I had for today. And so it was actually a good mental turning point for me. I think around 20-ish, I wasn't sure if I was going to finish. Yeah, really? It was just my body just wasn't there. Not all there today, and it's hard to run a race like that. It really is.
you know, I found myself for a few miles there kind of complaining, like being like this sucks. I want to feel like I normally do. Yeah, especially in a long race. But, you know, I think days like that make you tough and make you grow. So
that nasty grinder with the rocks up to the finish here.
Yeah.
You're sitting in third at this point.
Yeah.
Are you letting yourself soak it in? Are you just like in the death zone? Are you thinking about, am I gonna get into Western States with this performance?
Yeah.
What's going through your head right there?
I knew Jim had it already, so I knew I would get offered the spot. But so Dylan and I had a really close battle, and Dylan passed me with a mile to go.
Oh wait, because at mile 4.5 to go, our people were there, and you were ahead of him.
I was,
So he surged.
Yeah, he surged, and I thought I had gapped him pretty well, but I was confused. I thought we were going to get back on the road for the last 2 miles, and I thought I got kind of lost, and then I heard him coming, and it was kind of like, okay, well, at least I'm not lost. But now he's caught me.
He's here.
Yeah. So then he caught me, and then he passed me
with a mile to go. In the middle of this climbing.
Okay. And then I just kind of, you know, I just told myself, I've suffered a lot today, and I'm gonna give it everything I have. And I just pictured a 5K finish and just got in my rhythm.
There has to be some kick in here.
And he went too. You know, like I could feel him going with me, but then I think about half a mile to go, he kind of just realized, I think it was getting close, and I had a little more, and so he just kind of backed off a little bit.
From here you can kind of glimpse a couple different spots in the last half mile or so. And the first time we saw you two, both of you looked like you were still like working it for the race.
Oh yeah, we were both going. It was my favorite part of the race. I love that stuff because I'm used to that in the shorter races, and so I just love that adrenaline.
I didn't know that he had actually passed.
Oh yeah, he went for it.
For a while.
Yeah, he went. He passed me, and he was going.
It's the new age of ultra running.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have this golden ticket offer. Everybody wants to know, what is Mario Mendoza going to do with that?
Yeah, there's a good chance I'll take it.
Okay.
I'm going to think about it a little bit more for the next week. I'm doing the World Championships in Slovenia the week before. And so that's the only kind of hesitation, but I think I can pull it off. I think, you know, you run that first race and then just rest the rest of the week. It's just the history of Western States, and being there just would be really cool. Yeah, and it'd be the experience, you know. Just you never know, I guess, if you'll get another shot. So. So
hashtag. It sounds like we might see you in Squaw.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a good chance. Yeah, it's more yes to no, but yeah, I'm my own coach, so I get to decide. Yeah.
Awesome. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and way to pull off that last minute surge there.
Thank you. That made up for, it's like the spot and third, so I was like, I need to go.
Well, congrats
Thank
to you.
Thank you.
Thanks.